I'll never forget that night when my quiet living room lit up like a crime scene. Red and blue flashes pulsed across the walls like some kind of warning. And there on my porch, two federal agents stood waiting, because the HOA president had told them I was running secret operations out of a black Jeep. Yeah, she really called the FBI on me over a car that wasn't even mine. That was the night I realized I wasn't living in a neighborhood anymore. I was living under a regime. Act 1. The Spark. My name's Thomas Miller, retired logistics analyst. 3 decades of spreadsheets, flight paths, cargo routes, you name it. When I left the job, I wanted peace. Maple Ridge seemed perfect. Neat houses, trimmed lawns, kids riding scooters. Except peace came with a price tag, our HOA. And at the head of it, Karen Brownlee, the self-crowned queen of cul-de-sacs. Clipboard in hand, sunglasses always low, and a smile so tight you knew it was hiding knives. She fined people if their garbage bins were visible longer than an hour. She once banned wind chimes, because she claimed they ruined her property value. I'd kept my head down. Until one quarterly meeting, I asked why landscaping fees were $5 grand a month, when the front gate bushes looked like a graveyard. The treasurer, Stan, fumbled, turned red. Karen smiled, all teeth. I knew then I'd poked the bear. So when those FBI agents asked to park a plumber's van in my driveway to watch her house, I said yes. A small act of revenge, finally. The bully was getting a taste of discipline. But the next morning, it started. Karen screeched to my curb on her little golf cart, pointed at a black Jeep across the street, and shouted, "That's yours. You're hosting secret meetings in it." I stared at her, watering can still in my hand. "Karen, I drive a sedan. Gets 30 miles a gallon. That Jeep looks like it eats sedans for breakfast." She didn't laugh. She doubled down, accused me of plotting against community harmony. And when one of the FBI agents in a suit stepped out of the van, calm as stone, asking her if there was a problem, she froze. In her mind, I'd brought outsiders into her kingdom. That made me a traitor. And she only had one punishment for treason: burn me to the ground. I could see it in her eyes before she spun off in her golf cart. War was coming. Act 2. The Squeeze. It began with whispers, then emails. Fake ones sent from me to the HOA board. Long, formal rants demanding a new contractor called Supreme Scapes, with inflated quotes that screamed kickback. Sloppy forgeries, but enough to make me look shady. Neighbors stopped waving. Some looked at me like I had two faces. And Karen forwarded every fake email with that holier-than-thou tagline, "For transparency. I feel the board must see this." One night, I sat on my porch, staring at the plumber's van humming in my driveway. My sister Lena called, her nurse's voice steady as always. "Tom, don't let her drag you down. People like her like an infection. Keep your head clear." I tried to believe her, but sitting there, I thought, what if she wins? What if she convinces everyone I'm the villain? For a minute, I thought about selling, leaving it all behind, just vanish. But then Ravi knocked on my door. My neighbor, the tech guy with more cameras than the Pentagon. He showed me footage from his doorbell cam. A hooded figure sneaking into my garage at 2 me, slipping an envelope into my toolbox. 10 seconds in and out. Ravi froze the video, zoomed. A bracelet flashed under the night vision. Chunky chain, charm dangling. My gut twisted, I'd seen it before. On Karen's wrist. At the last HOA picnic, a gold-plated gavel charm, her symbol of justice. That was it. Proof she planted evidence on my property. I sent it to the feds. They told me, "Sit tight. She'll trigger her own trap." But I knew the game had changed. The trap came faster than I thought. Karen called a neighborhood watch meeting in front of my house. She stood in the street, performing for 20 neighbors, warning about threats within. And right on cue, 2 police cruisers rolled in because someone had called 911, reporting a man matching my description, waving a gun. My blood iced over. This wasn't just harassment. She was trying to get me shot. I stepped out, hands raised, coffee cup still in one hand. "Officers, I'm the homeowner. There is no gun." Karen shrieked from the crowd. "He's lying. He's dangerous." But the sergeant asked if I had cameras. I pulled up my doorbell app, showed him footage of me minutes earlier carrying nothing but a garden rake. He looked at me, then at her, and loud enough for everyone to hear. He said, "This was a false report. Then, staring Karen dead in the face. "Ma'am, that's a crime." Her smirk cracked. The crowd murmured. For the first time, she looked like prey. Still, she wasn't done. Ravi caught more footage from his drone stand, our treasurer, exchanging envelopes of cash with the so-called landscaping contractor, a handoff under the cover of night. HOA dues funneled into their pockets. The FBI called it gold. But I had one more move. By HOA bylaws, if 10% of homeowners signed, we could demand a full forensic audit. So I posted the motion to the community board. Within an hour, my phone buzzed with messages. Finally, about time. And the silent majorities wasn't silent anymore. Karen panicked, cut the power to my block one night, sent Stan on a mission. He crashed a golf cart trying to escape, dropped his phone, on-screen a text from Karen. "Did you handle it? Meeting tonight. Emergency. Clubhouse. 1 hour." That was the moment I knew it was going to end tonight. Act 3. The fall. The clubhouse overflowed. Word of Karen's emergency meeting spread like wildfire. She stood at the podium, hair lacquered into a helmet, face a mask of control. She ranted about threats to stability, about rogue elements. She never said my name, but her eyes cut into me like daggers. Then she made her move, announced a board vote to expel me from the association. I stood, my voice steady. "Point of order. Madam President. The bylaws require 10 days' notice for any removal vote. This meeting itself is illegal." The room erupted, phones out, neighbors scrolling the bylaws. They realized I was right. Karen sputtered. "This is unprecedented." "Then let's deal with the real concern first." I cut her off. "I move for a full forensic audit of 3 years of HOA spending." "Second," someone shouted. Applause rippled. Neighbors clapped, cheered. For once, the tide was with me. Karen's face drained of color. She looked to Stan's chair, empty. Panic flickered. She was cornered. Then bang! The side door slammed open. Stan stumbled in, suit rumpled, eyes wild. And in his shaking hand, a silver handgun. The room screamed. Chairs toppled. Karen gasped. "Everybody shut up!" Stan cried, waving the gun like a drowning man. He fired once into the ceiling. Glass exploded. Darkness fell on half the room, and that's when it ended. 2 neighbors surged from the crowd, plainclothes FBI. One twisted the gun from Stan's hand. The other slammed him to the floor. At the door, Agent Clark stood, badge raised. "FBI, nobody leaves. You're all witnesses to a federal crime." The clubhouse froze. Karen's kingdom collapsed in one breath. She tried one last stand, gripping the podium. Voice shrill. "You can't do this. I am the president." But nobody listened. Buddy Bruno whispered, "Someone grab her clipboard." Nervous laughter cracked the tension. Karen looked around, searching for an exit that wasn't there. Outside, federal agents swarmed her house, carried out boxes of files, computers, the whole rotten core. The scams were bigger than we thought. Millions skimmed through fake contracts. Shell companies, even Supreme Scapes registered under her maiden name. She tried to run, slipped out during the chaos, took her Mercedes down the interstate. But she didn't get far. The news showed it live traffic boxed in by a rolling roadblock. Karen stepping out, trying to look defiant. But the camera didn't lie. Her hands shook. Her eyes screamed panic. And when the cuffs closed on her wrists, the reign of Maple Ridge was over. Closing. That night, I sat on my porch, for the first time in years. No violation notice taped to my door. Kids' laughter drifted down the street. Ravi painted his garage electric blue. Buddy parked a 10-foot flamingo on his lawn, and no one fined them. Karen thought she could run a kingdom with a clipboard. But in the end, the rules she wrote became the noose around her neck. And me, I learned something. You don't run from a bully trying to take your home. You find their weak point, and you push. This is the kind of story we tell here on Karen Outrage.